How's it going, guys? In today's video we're gonna do a cook slash review of the Royal Gourmet. I've been getting this asked a lot of questions lately on how well it's held up and if I've been able to cut on it and do I damage it and a whole bunch of questions about the griddle top. So instead of answering every one of those questions, I thought I'd throw it in a video. So as far as cutting on it, I cut on it at least once a week, typically twice, because I make quesadillas a lot, and the reason I make them is because we have leftovers, and I'm not a huge fan of leftovers eating the same meal, so I like to create a different meal, and quesadillas typically is my go-to. I use this griddle three or four times a week just because of its size. It doesn't waste much propane, and it's a perfect size for a family of 4, maybe 5. It's just me and my wife, and it's quick and easy, and I can have this easily set up pretty fast versus pulling out one of my other griddles or any of my other cooking appliances, I guess you would call them. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I have a knife here, and we're going to cut right into it. You know, you can see, but you can't hardly see because it's dark, so I'm going to take it out in the sun and show you me, you know, taking a knife to it. So give me a second, guys. All right, say hi to my dog Zoe. She comes out and hangs out with me every day out here. So all right, this is what the griddle top looks like. You'll see some darker areas and stuff. I know it's the glare. Let me see if I can move this, guys. Sorry for the camera work. It's hard to see, but it's a little darker in some spots. Oh, there you go. But that's just almost like a seasoning. Even though this is non-stick, you're still going to create a seasoning on here. Whether you can obviously clean it and scrub it completely down after every cook, but it doesn't affect the surface. I leave it as that, and then you can see the knife marks that I just cut into it. There's no damage. My fingernail doesn't get into it, and I'll show you again. This is me cutting on it, and this is extreme. This is a brand new knife, and it's still smooth. I don't, you guys can see that. Give me a second. I don't know. There is no marks, no nothing. So cutting on this is safe. I do it. I don't have any issues with it. So for the individuals who say you can't, well, I just proved that you can. So let's go ahead and look at the ingredients for today's cook. We're gonna need flour tortillas, some chicken. This is what I had left over. This is the pre-made stuff in the bag that we buy, so you're not supposed to throw raw chicken on pizzas or anything. And then some cheese, obviously. We had some leftover grated, and then I'm not a huge fan of the pre-shredded, but that's what we have. Some melted butter and some room temperature or softened cream cheese. I know it's typically people are like, what, cream cheese on a quesadilla? It's actually really good. So I'm going to have my wife come out here and film me making this real quick and just throw it back on there. But oh yeah, as far as utensils, we're going to be needing some sort of like basting brush. That's just to put the butter on the tortilla or the griddle before we set it down. This is to spread the cream cheese on the tortilla, and then this is to flip it. So but like I said, give me a second, and I'll get my wife out here to give me a hand. Alright guys, change of plans. My wife is feeding the baby. We got the tree service down the street, and I want to get this video done, so I'm not going to keep waiting. So what I went ahead and did is I lit the griddle. As you can, it's hard to see, but you can see it's on. And I'm using a 1 pound propane attachment. You have to buy an adapter to be able to use that, but for little cooks like this, I just went ahead and threw that on. But I don't like to preheat the griddle before cooking on it with the more delicate items like this, just because I tend to overheat the griddle and burn the tortillas. So I find the most success by heating it up right when I need it for things like this. And I'm gonna keep it completely on low. You don't need to go any higher than that. So what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and spread the cream cheese on one tortilla here. It's hard to tell because it's hard to do it and film all at the same time. And then I'm gonna grab the other one and just put it on here because I don't want to make a mess on the griddle. So I'm gonna take my softened butter, and then I'm just gonna spread or melted butter, spread melted butter on here. You can spread it on the griddle top if you want. I just think it's easier to put it on a tortilla. This isn't the most healthiest, so just be warned, but it is pretty delicious if you ask me. So just gonna flip it over now, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our ingredients. So let me go ahead and put some cheese down. I'm gonna have to set you guys down here, sorry. And you can put as much or as little cheese as you want. I'm gonna go ahead and just use what was in that Ziploc bag, so I'll throw this away. Then we'll grab our chicken, and I'm just gonna throw our chicken down. I did put the chicken in the microwave for about 10 seconds just to warm it up. It's still cool, but warm just in case. I've never thrown super cold straight from the fridge chicken. I don't know how it would react. And then if you wanted to, you could put cheese on the top, and that's what I'm going to do here. So I'll have to set you down again. So as you can tell, it's a pretty cheesy and full of chicken tortilla or quesadilla here. And then put this right on top, like so. Grab your butter again, your melted butter, and we're just going to baste the top of the tortilla. So, alright, well, I'm gonna let it cook for a little bit on this side, and before I flip it, I'll get back with you guys, and then we'll flip it together. Alright, it's been a couple minutes, so let's check the bottom of this. Well, it looks like it's ready to flip, so let's give it a flip here. Wow. See, that looks pretty good if you ask me. So, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, and then I'll get back with you when we're ready to cut. Alright, it's been about 2 or so minutes, and let's go ahead and see if this quesadilla is ready. All the cheese looks melted, you can see that underneath. So I think she's ready. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn this off so she doesn't cook anymore, the quesadilla. And instead of waiting for it to cool off, that's the reason why I cook on griddle so much, is because I don't have to dirty in additional plates. Let me make sure she's okay, still good. We're going to go ahead and just cut right on here. So instead of waiting, probably wait, but I don't want to wait. I want to get this video done, like I said, and the tree service people stopped chopping, so thought it'd be a perfect time to hurry up and finish this here. Okay, here she is. Look at that, nice and creamy and gooey. Wow, it's still hot. Let's take a taste. Look at that. Wow, that's pretty good, guys. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take this in the house, and I'll get back with you with a quick little review. It's not gonna be too in-depth because there's not much to cover on this little griddle, so I'll be right back. Alright, let's just do a quick little review. I just finished cooking that. There's no damage whatsoever. And we're going to go ahead and clean it real quick, or show you how easy it cleans up. You can, it's hot, you can take a paper towel and just wipe it down. It gets most of the stuff off, but I find it easier to just grab yourself a scraper, you know, and you can see all that cheese, melted cheese and stuff, comes right off. And then I just shove it in this little hole for the grease to fall into, and then you wipe it down. Sorry, it's amateur hour around here. It's I don't have anybody filming, and I'm in a rush, so you can see how everything just falls right in and you're essentially clean. So I'm gonna call that good enough for now. But just to show you, I do like this griddle. My opinions haven't changed. I still use it weekly. I use it a ton. Sad thing is I probably use this as much as I've used all my other ones when I first started reviewing products here. But one thing I don't like, well, it's not necessarily a dislike, it's I just wish the company would have gave you a longer propane tank or hose. You can see the original hose is only a couple feet, if that, you know. This is all it is. And I understand, you know, this is pretty much standard length on most griddles and stuff like this. Actually, most griddles only have a 1 pound propane, but the fact that they give you the capability of doing the 20 pound, I do like. I do refill these, but prior to refilling them, it was getting too expensive, so I would have liked to have seen an option to where they gave you an adapter. I know it would increase the cost. I think at the time of this video it's like 90 bucks or something, so you know, it's not sorry, I'm lost. It's not too expensive to buy this. You can usually get them for about $10 to $20 or so. The hose here, the extension hose, I think this is 3, maybe 5 feet. I don't remember. I'll put links to all this stuff down in the description box of all the stuff that I got. But I got an extension hose. You can see it made the length, and that solved the issue with the short hose and the lack of 1 pound propane with the adapter and hose. So you're probably looking at about 110 bucks roughly with the griddle and the extra hoses and stuff. I love the fact that it's 3 burners. That's why I chose this one over all the other ones on the market as far as a tabletop, because you'll actually see my review on Amazon. I review a lot of products on Amazon, and I'm actually ranked pretty high. I'm in the top like 10,000 reviewers. And you would think that's not that good, but when you have tens of millions of reviewers, that's actually really good. And I just started reviewing this winter, so you'll see all the pictures that I posted on there, searing meat and then heating the tortillas up, or searing burgers and heating up the buns. I love the flexibility of the 3 burners versus 1. One complaint that originally I didn't have, or I didn't experience, but I am now, is the grease catch is kind of loose. Well, the reason it's loose, and it's my fault why it's loose. It was never loose. It was always tight. You could hear it snap in. But the reason it's loose is because the way I carry it, and I'll show you. Let me set you down here if you guys can see. I typically carry it like this. Well, when I do that, I'm bending this little tab right here. I'm bending it out, which is causing it to become loose. So if you want, you can just bend this back in and you'll get a tighter fit. I don't bother because it doesn't fall out while I'm cooking, you know. It's in there. It's just a little loose, you know. And that's the biggest complaint I see, but that's my fault, and just because I lift it up like that, when I do that, I'm bending that bar. So if you read a review or any of the reviews, that's what's going on, at least in my case. So that's my fault and nobody else's. If you're going to carry it, either carry it, you know, away like so, or sideways to avoid that. The way this is designed, it's not the company's fault necessarily. They could have done a flat surface here if they wanted to, but then again, your knobs, you wouldn't be able to see the controls as well. But with the way it being here, when I put a whole bunch of burgers on here and bacon, I tend to get a lot of grease that splashes all over the front of this, so it requires me to do a little more extra cleaning. Not a big deal, just something to be aware of. I literally I just wipe it down and it looks brand new still. The griddle top has worked awesome. I haven't had any issues. It heats evenly. If you have if you have an uneven heat or low flame, all you got to do is you turn off your burners, you disconnect the propane, and then you open this up, and just to relieve the pressure in that regulator, then plug it back in and then open the burners up slowly. and then repeat. I have a video of doing that on the Weber grill, so I'll link that down below. But other than that, it's a great griddle, and I think it's a great buy for anybody looking to get into griddles or don't need something as big as the Camp Chef or Blue Rhino or Blackstone or whatever other ones I have. I have quite a few of them, but this, like I said, this is the one I use the most. So I hope that answers a lot of your guys' questions who were inquiring about this griddle. And sorry, it's probably one of my worst videos as far as I didn't have anything planned out, written down, or what to say. I just kind of threw it together real quick. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Just leave them down below. I do get to every one of them. And also help support the channel by clicking on the description links. If you're already buying it through Amazon, click on the Amazon link I have posted. I get a small little kickback. It's only a few dollars when people purchase products that from my links, but every little bit helps. You know, I put a lot of time and effort into making these videos and reviews, and a lot of money gets spent on products like this to help people out, and all the time that I put in replying to comments and prepping for the videos, you know. So, but anyways, guys, just leave any questions, concerns down below. If you need to get to me right away, look on my channel and you see my email. I respond quicker to emails than I do comments. So anyways, have a good day, guys.